everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you a Stamps of Life product that is going to be on the HSN website. It's going to be on their craft day coming up. I believe it's May 5th. And this product is called the Stamps of Life gift card pop-up card making dies and idea book. So these are all the dies that it comes with. It has this large die and it has a rectangular die, which is a layering piece that goes inside. This is the piece that layers on. This is for where the gift card sits. And it comes with all these beautiful flower dies. You have a large one, which is the shadow, and then the layering die. Then you have a medium one exactly like that with the two dies. There's some center pieces that you can do in the center of your flowers, and then there is a small one, same exact die, only a tiny one. So you can see it has the large, the medium, and the small. So I wanna go ahead and make one of these with you today. So to start off, you're going to take your large die. This is the one that has this little insert, and you're going to get two pieces of cardstock. This is actually going to be for the outside of the booklet, and I cut mine out of the cherry cardstock. And you'll notice that there are some score lines on here, and you will need to take your bone folder and you will need to score these down. So you can see that where the score lines are, just score that down on both pieces, okay? And this is gonna make a booklet. So when you put it together, it's going to be like this. So your booklet is going to be able to open, and when you open it, you're gonna have your gift card that pops out. All right, so when you put this together, you are going to put these two pieces, that's how you're gonna glue it. But your gift card is actually gonna sit inside here, but you're gonna wanna glue the side, but not too close to this oval, because if you glue it too close to the oval, you're gonna end up gluing too much of that, and you're not gonna be able to get that gift card in there. So you can see I put just a generic, this is a Target gift card. So I'm not gonna wanna put any glue past that line. You can see, I'm just gonna mark, not put any glue past that line. And then when I glue the bottom, I'm just gonna come to the very bottom and not of the, right here, the very bottom put glue, and not up towards the top. So I'm gonna go ahead, and you're actually gluing when you have this folded down, you're actually gluing this fold part, okay? So you might wanna just mark with your pencil on the other side, because that's the part that you're actually gonna put glue on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just squeeze some glue. Okay, and I'm gonna put it along the very bottom, and that's it, and then just up here on the side. So you see that? So there's no glue here, because you want to be able to put that gift card in there. So then just put these pieces flat up against each other, and just press those together. So now when you put that in, the gift card will sit in there just like that, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and take that out for now. That needs to dry. And I'm gonna erase these pencil lines, okay? So that's how you do the base of it. Right. So you're gonna then take this die, and this die I cut out of some pattern paper, and that just covers up these sides so that you can have just a little bit of decoration here. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these down. And then you have this large die, this rectangular die, and I cut two pieces out of pattern paper, and I'll go ahead and layer those on to the inside panels. Okay, so that's the inside. So when the person opens this, the gift card will actually be sitting right inside, and then we could just decorate this entire layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some of these flower dies. So I went ahead and die cut using the large out of the cherry cardstock. And I think I will go ahead and incorporate some ocean into this as well. And I will die cut this larger piece, this larger inside layering piece out of the ocean. I did put double-sided adhesive on the back just because it's such a thin die, and I'll run this through my die cut machine. So when that comes out of the die cut machine, you can go ahead and layer that on your background layer. Now if you wanted to add ink to the edges of this, of course you can do that first before putting this down. Look how pretty that is. And then you can layer these up some more if you wanted to. So I used the smaller die and did the same thing with the cherry on the bottom and the ocean on the top. So we can actually stack this up so that it's a nice big layer. And then if you wanted to use any of these circle dies to die cut, you know, something for the center, you can do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. Then I die cut using this die. I die cut a little circle. And just put some glue on that. Put that right there in the center. And then using this die, I die cut a piece of the ocean. I already had double-sided adhesive on the back of that cardstock. Okay, now if you wanted to, instead of adhering this fully, you can always let these top petals raise up. And if you didn't put double-sided adhesive on the back of the ocean ones, you can just put it in the middle, the glue, and then let these petals rise up. But I didn't do that because this will eventually lay flat. All right, so there's one flower. I'm gonna do another flower, and I think this time I'm gonna do ocean. So I'm gonna cut this small one out of the ocean cardstock, and I'm gonna layer it up with a piece of the cherry. I love these two colors together. I just think they're so beautiful. And then we'll do another white in the middle. You can also just take these outline dies and just die cut them and just lay them flat for a pattern on your card base. So I'm just gonna do one here so you could see what this looks like. I did put double-sided adhesive on it. And then you can have your nice background. See how the polka dots shine through there? Isn't that pretty? And if you wanted to do several of them and just create a nice background, you can do that as well. So I think I'm just gonna do another one in the ocean just so everything's balanced out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I think I'll glue that one down here and just put the ocean one up here. So we have some flowers on there. Now, what you can also do is you can take your inside pieces. If you had this in a different color, which actually I do because I die cut that one. So I can actually just take these if I wanted to and just put those in here if I didn't want to have those polka dots showing, and that would look really pretty as well. So those are all different ways that you can add these flowers and make them pop on this card. I think I'll go ahead and do that one for this one as well, just to give it a very consistent look. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you don't have to use these flowers. You can take a look on the HSN website. There are some beautiful examples from the design team if you go into this product and look at all the different options. You can use any stamp sets that you have to make a scene in here as well. All right, so let me glue these down. Look how pretty that is. So when it's open, that's just a wow factor. I just think those colors are so gorgeous. Now, if you wanted to decorate the front, obviously you can do that. This is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just like a regular A2 size card base. I went ahead and cut out a piece of ocean paper for my layering piece on top. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'll go ahead and lay this down. And this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4, just another layering piece right on top. I have this awesome large happy birthday die. This is on the Stamps of Life website if you really like it, but it is super large, and I like it because it actually will take up a large part of the front of the card, so I don't have to do a lot of decorating, which if I'm in a rush for a quick card, those large word dies are always super helpful. So I cut the shadow layer out of the ocean, and I cut the words out of the powdered sugar. So I'm just going to adhere that down. So I'm going to go ahead and put my happy birthday there at the bottom. I did cut a solid layer out of the cherry. This piece does not have double-sided adhesive. I just wanted to show you how you can layer up these sides. And I have another smaller piece out of the cherry, which I can use again to just layer up the sides on that. So this piece will be adhered flat. Okay, and then this piece we're just going to pop on some glue on the circle. You see how those layer up, how pretty that is? And then this piece, the same thing. Now you could always put some ink on the edges, but I'm just trying to save some time here. So that can go on top of there, and you can see all the dimension on there. I do have this piece that was cut out of this die that has the little lines on it, and you can actually bring that up and give that some dimension as well. Put some glue on the middle part of that, pop it right down there in the center. So now you really got a whole lot of dimension going on. I have these really pretty shiny jewels. These are from Stamps of Life. I don't know where I got these. I think I might have got them part of a class that they did at one of the expos last year. Look at that. You can add that in there, or even any type of epoxy dot, and just stand that up. And look how pretty that is. All right, let's go ahead and add our happy birthday. So I decided to go ahead and die cut some of the smaller flowers and just add them next to the larger one. I'm just putting glue on the middle. All right, so then we'll just flip this stuff up. So isn't that pretty with all those flowers and all that dimension? And then when you open it up, you have your gift card holder with those beautiful flowers on the inside. Here's another example of a gift card booklet that I did, which this time I actually made it look like a booklet, because if you look at the pattern paper there on the left side of that booklet, you can see that it looks like a spine on the left edge. And I just took a piece of pattern paper and I cut it to 2.5 by 4.25 and scored it at 1.25 inches and then folded along that side to create that spine. I also added some flowers here, the happy sentiment, and I also added the birthday in the stamp in the lower right hand corner. When you open it up, it looks very similar to the previous tutorial that I just did, with the gift card holder sticking out of the middle and some of the flowers and a sentiment on the inside. But I decided to give this a more finished look and continue with the gift card booklet feel, and I decorated the back, just adding another piece of pattern paper to the back, and you can see how the spine wraps around. So I made another project, which is this Christmas. It's a little mini album using the same gift card holder die set, and I wanted to share this with you as well. So when you open it up, you can see that I added a pocket here on the left. I did die cut some tags and put in there. There is a spot underneath that little elf. I used the elves to stamp set and colored that little elf in, so you can put something behind there, and you can put pictures on these pages, so it can be just like a little mini photo album. And I just think it turned out super cute, so I want to share with you how I made that. So what I've done so far is I have taken the largest die, and I'm going to do this Christmas themed. Taken the largest die and I cut that out twice using the strawberry cardstock, and then I took the next largest die, which is this piece, and I cut out a another piece of strawberry cardstock. So make sure that your lines are scored and you just fold it down at those score marks. And we're gonna take this piece here, and this is gonna be layered inside just like this. Now, when you layer this on, don't come all the way to the edge, okay? You wanna just leave a tiny bit of space and then just make sure that, and I'm sorry, these are the same color papers, it's kind of hard to see. Just make sure that there's a little bit of space here as there is here. So equal space on the top and bottom. And then on the left side, just make sure that you're leaving a little bit of space. You don't want this all the way to the edge because remember, we are gonna put these two pieces together. I mean, technically you could, I just think that if it's pushed in a little bit more, it might be better for this album. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna go ahead and, oh, my glue is flying out. I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue. So here's my flap. This is my back side of the booklet. This is pressed down. I'm gonna go ahead and just add some glue to this flap. Okay, and remember, I'm not coming all the way to the edge. Then you're gonna take your rectangular piece and you are going to, see if I can hold this up just a little bit. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And then I'm gonna lay this flat just like that. Again, making sure I have equal space at the top as I do on the bottom. And just press down and let that hold into place. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the back. This is what it looks like on the front. Okay, now I'm gonna take my top piece. This is the front of my booklet. This is gonna lay just like that. So I'm going to put glue on, if you have your page held this way with your flap going towards the left, you're gonna put glue on the top of this flap. Okay, and it's okay if you go to the edge because you want to make sure that these two flaps are held together securely. So now we're gonna just line these up. So line them up just like this. And you want to press down and just hold that just for, you know, at least until you think your glue is dry. So you want to just hold that down in place. Okay, and then when you open it up, this is what you have. A page in the middle and a page on the end. So there's technically 3 pages. You have your front cover, then your middle, and then your end. Okay, so for the first inside page, I took a piece of pattern paper using my large rectangle die that came in the kit, and I cut that out. This is from the Mary collection paper pad. And I also have this paper, which is also from the Mary collection. This is a scrap. I had used part of it before. And I'm going to take my paper cutter and I'm gonna make this page so there's a pocket here. So I want to have a Holly Jolly Christmas towards the bottom. And I wanna make sure, I know that the word have is it's actually gonna be part of it. It's gonna end up being cut off. All right, so if I take my paper trimmer and just line this piece up, I'm just gonna make sure it's in the middle of this border. And then I'm going to just trim that so it looks like this. And I do have a little bit of border on the top. All right, so now we're gonna adhere these pieces together. And what you're gonna do is just kind of see where this is going to line up on your page. And I'd probably just take a pencil and just mark on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, just so that you know that the glue is gonna go below that. So since this is gonna be a pocket, we are just going to add some glue just to the bottom right, also to the bottom, and then here on the left below that line. You don't want to put any glue in the middle. And then when you line this up, you're going to line it up on the right hand side of this pattern paper and make sure that it's even on the bottom. Okay, so even on the right, even on the bottom, and then you're gonna flip this over and just trim off the rest. Okay, so now you have a pocket here that you can put stuff in. And then, of course, you can just erase those pencil marks. Okay, and then this page is going to be positioned right inside your little booklet. Okay, so now again, now you have a little pocket. If you wanted to put a different piece of pattern paper and you just wanted some measurements, just to kind of give you an idea of how tall this is, it's a little bit past the 1.5 inch mark. So it's like 1 notch past the 1.5 inch mark. Okay, and then going this way, it's 5.5 inches. So you can just take a piece of pattern paper and just cut that to size if you don't want to do something like this and try and have these words show up. Now we're just going to finish decorating the other pages using this rectangular die that came with the set. Cut out 1, 2, 3 more pieces of pattern paper and then glue those in. Okay, now I just want to point out that this piece of paper that's coming in here, I just want you to notice that because we put a page in here and just attached a page, it does not, the page, the center spine is a little bit higher than the page. So when you put your cutout on here, it's going to lay flat and even. There's not going to be any red showing. Well, I guess you can make it so that there's some red showing on the right, but on the top and bottom, I just want to point out that it's going to have to be flush with the red paper on the top and the bottom. Now, if you wanted to have a little bit of red showing all around, you're going to have to cut your paper down. But then if you cut your paper down, I just also want to point out that it's not going to be even with this side. So right now, the way that I have it, if I go ahead and lay this down on top of this red insert, it can be even with this page on the left. But if I cut it down, it won't be. It'll be shorter, okay? So I don't mind that it covers some of that paper and doesn't show all that red. Again, this is just, you know, just keep in mind that this die set wasn't meant to be for an album. This is just something that my head just started thinking of as I was putting my first gift card booklet together. And I'm like, oh, this would make a great album. So, yeah, just one of my great ideas. Anyway, so see here, you can actually make it so that it shows a little bit on the right if you wanted to, or you can make it flush on the right, and then it just needs to be even on the top and bottom. Okay, so that's the middle page, or the second, the middle page. And then turn it over and you're gonna do the same thing. Sometimes it helps just to lay your book flat and have all the pages stick off to the right. And then I cut another piece of pattern paper. Again, this is all from the same paper pad. All these colors go together. I'm sticking with the red and green, obviously, as you can tell. I really like the traditional Christmas colors. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it in just a tad bit from this edge. Make sure it's even on the top and bottom. But careful that you don't have it going over this side because you still need this book to close. All right, and then for the back inside cover. Okay, so here's our pages. So we have that pocket here, and we have a page, and then the last page, and then we just need to do the covers, and then any decorating that you want to do to the inside. Now, because this does not have a gusset, those of you that have ever made a mini album, this is just simple cardstock, just, you know, a quick little simple album that you can give actually as a gift to somebody. And because there's no gusset here, we're not gonna fill this up with a bunch of stuff. So really, you can just add a few things in the pocket, maybe a tag or something, which we'll probably do. Maybe just then put a picture, and that's really about it. You don't want to make it so that it's so thick, because you can tell that it's just cardstock and we don't want it to fall apart. So next you'll need 2 pieces to decorate the front and the back cover. And you'll also need another piece to cut out for to cover up this spine. And this piece was cut at 2.5 by 4 1/4, and then it was scored at 1.25 inches. And before we add that, we are going to go ahead and put these pages on the front and the back, and I'm just going with a solid green. I don't want anything too busy, so I just decided to do a solid green for the front, because I am going to decorate this with some stamped images and some die cuts. Okay, so that's going to be my front. And then my back, I chose the Christmas trees. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece and we're going to add some glue. And then we're going to set that right in the middle. And just make sure it's even at the top and bottom. And then just press down to make sure that that glue sticks. And that just covers up this unfinished piece on the side. Okay, so here's my book so far. On the back. All right, so I also went ahead and die cut and colored some images. These images are from the Elves to Stamp. Let me see. From this stamp set, yep, Elves to Stamp. So I went ahead and stamped them and colored them in with my Copics. I did do the Christmas die cut. This is from the Christmas Statement set. So I've got the strawberry and then the powdered sugar. The powdered sugar is in the shadow. And I'm just going to decorate the front of my booklet. So I'm just going to position things where I want them to go. And then I'll go ahead and glue them on. So I went ahead and added 2 more presents. I did put foam on this one. I also added a rocking horse from the same set and added some foam to tighten that as well. So there's my front cover. Okay, and now we can decorate some of the inside. We're gonna add this little elf to this page. Again, I'm just gonna glue down half of him. It just makes it so that, you know, if you want to add a picture or something underneath, there's space to do that. All right, I have the Christmas tree to stamp. I used the die and cut out a Christmas tree, and I'm gonna put it here on the last page, and I'm gonna just glue down the right side and leave this as an open space in case, you know, you could tuck something under here, or you could just put a picture on next to it, or you could do both. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to just glue down half of this tree. So see, I have glue on half, and then I'm going to add it to the right side. Okay, that way if you wanted to tuck something under here, you could do that. So for this page, I went ahead and just made a little photo mat to stick inside. Let me get that glue off. I just put a piece of kiwi paper 3x3 and then cut down the pattern paper just a little bit smaller than that. And that can just stick right inside there. So here's my final little Christmas little album made with the gift card A2 size booklet. So it has the Christmas statement on the front, and it has the elves to stamp. One of the elves with the presents and the rocking horse. These are all part of the elves to stamp die set, or stamp and die set. And then when you open it up, we made a little pocket here and a couple little tags using the scallop tags. Another little elf here, and this I just left open on the side so you can tuck a picture or something underneath there. I added the word joy. This joy die cut is from the inspirational word die set that Stamps of Life has sold on HSN. It might still be on HSN if you're interested in purchasing it. It does come with all of these dies, and I used the joy. I also used the believe, and you'll see that in just a few minutes, but it has all of these fun little inspirational words. So on the back side, it has the word believe. And then from the Christmas tree to stamp die set, and then I left that under just for a little photo mat here. And then there's the back, just plain black, plain on the back. So that is my little booklet made with the A2 size gift card set. So again, instead of in the middle, instead of putting the gift card, I went ahead and just put another die cut of the large rectangle, glued them together with some pattern paper. And yeah, just made a little booklet out of it. Super cute.